Beautiful.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Nkositalkshows, where we can all be open to where our coaches can help you get more from your life and create concrete steps to help you get there. Find your voice and be a great leader. My name is Nomsa Clara Mube. I am the founder of Hope Spring Eternally Introduction Agency and the founder of Ngosi Talk Show. I have two special guests with me today, Stephen Alexandra, our guest panelist, and Nadia Dubiel, our guest panelist. I am going to let our experts introduce themselves. Also, they can lay out their professional credentials, expertise. Stephen Alexandra, could you please introduce yourself? You just made me laugh just before we went live.
I try. So, hi everybody. Thank you for having me on, Nomsa. This is awesome to be here. So, my name is Stephen Alexander Simmons. I am a mental and emotional health coach. So, basically, I help people with their mental and emotional health. Just getting in touch with what it means to release those things that are on our mind, those things that we're constantly struggling with. And instead of just keeping them up there or in there, I just help people just process that and also give people just the space and the time just in order to do that. So as you can tell, I love to make people laugh. I love to make people smile. That is my, I'm not going to tell you that's my gift because you might want to steal my gift. So, but that's kind of what I like to do. And so it's about just reminding people that it's okay to laugh, it's okay to smile, and just helping people just get through life that extra bit more, and doing that. So that's what I do. I use many approaches. So I might use NLP, I might use hypnotherapy, I use laughter therapy a lot. But other than that, it's just about space and time. That's basically the main things that I offer.
Thank you so much, Stephen. You actually made me laugh. Over to you, Nadia, please.
Yeah, hi everyone, and thank you, Steve, for making me laugh too. It's good. I don't remember when I laughed last time, so that's great. So hi everyone, my name is Nadia Dubiel. I am body intelligence coach, and I have my own academy. I created my own academy where when I teach people and train people how to become themselves, because we live in a very confusing world when there's a lot of illusions and lies and control, and because of our conditioning, we really disconnect with ourselves. We don't know who we are. We don't know what we want in life. We don't know our true potential. So I decided to create a superhuman academy where I take people through a journey of self-discovery. So when you can learn what your heart really wants to discover and who are you really in this crazy world that we live in now. So yeah, that's me. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Nadia. Thank you so much, guys. So our topic today is time to step into your own personal power as a leader in your own right. So basically, this is something that is powerful. So I'm going to start with you, Nadia. How do you know when it is time and you have stepped into or stepping into your personal power?
I think it's very important to step into your own power, and the threat of a person who is really confident and they really know themselves. Firstly, is the person who's confident in themselves. They don't have self-doubts. They really have clarity where they're going, what they want in life. They have a vision. They have a sense of direction, and they know there's nothing and no one that can stop them in achieving what they want. And that is the people, that is type of people that really need in this world, because at the moment people are so insecure and they're so easily prone to manipulation. Really, we so gullible, because deep inside we have hearts, and we want to believe, but also we want to stay in comfort zones. That's why when you step into your own power, you have that self-confidence and inner knowing, inner strength, that whatever you do is the right thing for you. You don't doubt yourself. You don't ask other people for opinions. You just have that clarity. And because we are so overwhelmed by information and conditioning and negative news, especially now, all of this confusion and negativity confuses us as well. Because to get that clarity, to step into your own power, you have to go within. There is no other way. You cannot develop that inner strength and inner knowing, inner confidence when you constantly listen to other people and listen to the outside world and being told basically what to do. So when you're in your own power, you are your own leader. You're making your own decisions. You don't wait for someone to make that decision for you. You are not afraid to make decisions. And you know, I see more and more people that they always, before they make a choice, they always ask, is it okay? Is it right? Is it okay to do? And they keep asking it, and they never actually empower themselves and know that we all have that ability to make our own choices. We just have to spend time with ourselves, reflection, and asking ourselves the right question. And what Stephen does, which is amazing, just getting rid of this mental and emotional attachments that we have to our past, because that's what really is holding us back and is stopping us to live in the present moment and creating a powerful and beautiful future that we want, that we truly want deep inside. So yeah, I can talk about this for ages, but basically it's about taking responsibility for your own life and developing that inner strength and confidence to make your own choices and have that inner knowing that this is the right choice. You know it in your heart that it's for you. So that's my take on it. Thanks.
Thank you so much, Nadia. Thank you so much. I like it when you say basically you don't need people's approval. You don't need people to affirm what you want to do. With some people, they do that a lot, basically because of fear. Fear will always be there with you. You just have to acknowledge that it exists and how you can actually climb the mountain and be who you want to be without having to actually let people approve who you are. And you know what? I was listening to one preacher one day. He said, honestly, he said, people are crazy. If you want people to affirm who you are as a person, no one agrees with anybody. He was like, no one agrees with anyone. So he was like, you might as well get on and do things, because whatever you do, people will have questions. But if it is your talent, why waiting? Why waiting for people to approve? Because you know, when you know your talent, you know within, you know in your heart that this is what I want to do. This is who I want to be. So why waiting? As long as you have a coach and surrounded by a good team that can help you be who you want to be, what more can you need? Nothing. You don't need people's approval. So I'm going to come over to you, Stephen. What's your take on this one, please?
Do you know what? I mean, I was ready to get my credit card and give it over to Nadia. I absolutely love that. I mean, I was like ready to book sessions in. I'm like, this is fantastic. Do you know what? I completely agree 100 million% with what Nadia said. Absolutely. And I think, I don't think I can add too much to that. But one of the things that I've been focused on myself and what I teach other people is, and it's not really a coaching term per se, but we say it a lot in our circles, is this sense of stay in your own lane. And people might think, what is that about? Now, it's often used in a sporting circle. So if you're an athlete, then you know to focus on your own lane. Why? Because if we're not careful, we're going to look at the runners, the swimmers, whatever, the people around us. So we're going to see people coming up behind us. We're going to get scared. We're going to get fearful. They're going to overtake us. We're going to see the people in front of us. We're going to go, we can't catch them up. We're not as good as them. And so you're filling yourself up with those doubts, those fears. I can't do this. You're putting yourself that extra pressure on you. Why? Why? No, right? Just focus on you, your direction, your lane. And then you're just taking away that stress and that worry, because you ain't going to worry about nobody else, right? And if you put into practice everything that Nadia just said, I hope people were taking notes. If not, go take your notes, because then you will just understand. And if you follow everything that she says. And the other point is, and again, it's something I never understood. and Nomza, I think you'll be familiar with this, is the truth will set you free.
Of course.
I'm going to say that again very slowly. The truth will set you free. Now, why is that important? It's because many of us have been told lies throughout our life. We've been told we're this, we're that, we're not good enough, we can't do this, we'll never be that, you shouldn't have dreams, you shouldn't do this. And so we're constantly filled with what I call lies that we've inherited from other people. And then eventually, like self-fulfilling prophecies, we've told them to ourselves time and time again. And we've been on repeat, like Groundhog Day. They're there on repeat. But we can use those and turn them around and say, okay, is this truth? Is what this person the truth? Am I miserable? Am I unhappy? And say, well, actually, yeah, I am. I am miserable. I am unhappy. I don't want to be that person. So I'm going to turn that around, right? People might say, well, you're living a lie. You're an imposter. Yeah, I am. Because I'm not being true to myself.
I'm not who I say I am.
Yeah, I am a wolf in sheep's clothing because I'm too busy trying to impress other people with my fine clothes, with the way I talk, the way I smell, because I want people to like me. I want to be liked. I want to be loved. I don't want people to know the real me because actually they might see the person who's scared, the person who, you know, is struggling. And I don't want people to see that person who's struggling. Hell no. So I'm going to show you that confident person, the funny person, the person who can cope, the person who has the whole world. So we take that truth and we can use it, and we can use that as a secret weapon and not be embarrassed about it, not be ashamed by it, but use it and take us forward.
Thank you so much, Steve. Thank you so much, Steve, and thank you so much. That was very, very powerful. You know, when you say you stay in your own lane, you know, I used to be a footballer, and you know what, when I had two characters, when I get on the pitch, even though I shaped the other team, my opposition, but when I get to other team, I look at them, and I look at them with the one eye. It means I'm in business. You stay out my way, and I stay out of your way. And if you come my way, I take you down. And if you take my team down, I take you down. So that was the attitude that I had. And this attitude, actually, I'm using it to actually, with my businesses, to say, okay, I love I love people, I love everything that I do, but I'm not going to let people affirm. I have a business coach. I have two business coaches, and those people and them and me, they have a final say. Me and them, when we sit down, we both have a final say. If they agree with me, I know I'm in the right track. And if they don't agree, I have to find out why. And then if they come up with the ideas, then I have to work around those ideas and move forward. And ask you guys, like, you are my masterminds as well. So if I need something, I ask you guys. If you tell me as it is, then I use that. That's how it works in life. You don't have to let people affirm who you are. And I'm gonna come to you, Nadia. What is your definition of a leadership?
Yeah, I think I love this topic because we are, like, our world is really desperate for leaders, I think. Like, seriously. The world is run by people that have no guts, basically, to stand up for something. Like, when I was writing my description about myself, I wrote that the world needs leaders that firstly, that love themselves, secondly, that are not afraid to connect with others, and that will keep the words, because people talk a lot, like, we know politicians and leaders, they tell us lies because they want to sell their agenda, so we vote for them. And a lot of people come to these positions because we believe, because we're so gullible to these lies and illusion. As Steven said, we really need to learn how to see the truth. But I don't think everyone is ready to hear the truth. And that's why we still live in a in a world where our perception is stirred and controlled, because a lot of people are not strong enough within themselves to know the truth. There is a second part to this saying: the truth will set you free, but at first it will piss you off. Because and it usually does when you really learn how to face the truth. A lot of people just get defensive. They don't want to believe it. They don't want to listen. They just run away. And that's where the power comes from. And a lot of leaders are not ready themselves to be leaders. They just power-driven people that want to dominate and push their opinions on others. So they're not driven by heart. So we need leaders that are really authentic and transparent people. I mean, I do admire Donald Trump in many ways. I'm not saying he's perfect leader, but I do like him because he's a person with strong opinions. And I think,
you know why I like him as well, Nadia? He doesn't lie. You know, we expect people to lie to us about their characters. They start making jokes. We think they're not good enough. They're not taking the thing serious. I like his character as well. You may continue. I just wanted to say I like his character as well.
Perfect. I'm glad you agree, because I do like many things about him, even though media is trying to show him in such a negative light, and that stirs the perception of other people, so they don't see maybe a real side of him. I've done a lot of research, and you know, he's an honest man. He's one of very few politicians that actually kept his word. He said he did everything he promised as a president for America, and he really made it much greater than it was before, because it was falling apart. Well, now it's falling apart for different reasons. But yeah, I think the true leader is someone who's got balls, basically, to tell the truth. Doesn't matter what is it. And as Steven said before, a lot of people create these personalities, fake identities, to be liked, to be accepted, and we have too many people like this. And being vulnerable, someone who's really not afraid to be vulnerable and say what they really think, even though they know deep inside they might be hated, they will be challenged by other people. Like another situation with J.K. Rowling. She's I don't know if you've heard about it, but she's writing a new book for children, and she wants one of the characters to be transgender in her book, because it's so loud about this stuff now at the moment. And she's done a lot of
about transgender. Transgender has been very loud for a long time.
Yeah, and yeah, of course. So there is a lot of, well, they want to encourage children to change the gender, but let's not go into that, which is crazy. Another topic maybe we can talk about, because I think it's very important to talk about this kind of stuff as well, and have your own opinion, basically. So I think leader, firstly, I'm just going on a tangent, sorry. So yeah, leader is someone who's really authentic and is not afraid to speak his own truth. Like J.K. Rowling said exactly what she thinks about this transgender movement that's happening, and because of that, a lot of people turned against her. A lot of her fans left her and started to name her horrible things, just because she expressed what she really thinks. And we need more people like her that have the courage to say what they really think, even though if it's against the mainstream narrative. Someone with strong opinion, someone who's confident, and someone who they really want. And so we can really create a world that is based on the truth, and it's driven by heart dreams from following our hearts, from the place of genuine place, from place of authenticity, place of transparency, because we are where we are at the moment, not because we are just a reflection of each other. There's too many people living in that illusion and wearing masks. So first step of a leader is just to take off the mask and be brave. Just be naked in front of everyone and say what you think. Really, I can talk for ages, but I'm interested what you think, guys, as well on that.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Nadia. I like it when you say basically when you actually make a decision to be who you want to be a great leader, you're going to piss some people off. And when you do piss some people off, you have to know that you are doing something. You are doing something that is changing the world. Because if everyone agrees with you, that means you are not doing anything. And that's why when I changed this talk show and I said, I'm not going to control this talk show, I'm just going to let all the speakers bring out their personalities of who they are, because, like Stephen was saying, the truth shall set you free. In the Bible, it says, speak the truth. So who am I to judge somebody else? So if somebody comes here and they have ideas that they feel that, okay, these ideas are going to benefit the audience, and I'm not going to say it's my talk show, and my talk show, this doesn't happen. Because the talk show, anything happens as long it benefits the audience, as long that person is able to lead. I'm happy with that. As long as I have great leaders in this talk show, I'm happy with that, for them to show who they really are. Thank you so much, Nadia, for that. And if it's upsetting people, let it be. Let whatever be will be. And I'm gonna come to you, Stephen. What is your definition of a great lead, of a leadership?
Do you know, I think it's one of those kind of open-ended questions, isn't it? Because I think it's a very personal and very subjective question. So, for example, Namza, what you might think is a great leader might be different to me. And again, Nadia might think, again, slightly different. But I think what I want to do is just put a little spin on it and almost not redefine what a leader is, but almost be aware that there are so many different leadership styles. So, we talk about leader and automatically the mind says, a president, a politician, a sports, I don't know, but somebody like that. However, if you look in the animal world, for example, just to give an example, and look at leaders in the animal world. So within the wolf, and I love wolves as very symbolic creatures. So a leader in the wolf pack, where will they lead? Will they lead from the front? No, they lead from the back, from the side, and they are keeping an eye on the weak ones. They're keeping an eye on the front. They're keeping an eye on the side to make sure that people are safe. Well, the wolves are safe. So their perspective is not just there. Their perspective is all over. So they're looking for the weak. They're looking out for the strong. They're looking out for the threats. They're looking out for the opportunities. That's in the wolf world. But also, I think for me, I like the concept of a shepherd as well. And it's kind of really taken me years to kind of get this concept around. And again, the shepherd does a very similar role. So again, you think of, I'm not a farmer, I've never been in the agricultural world, but if you think of shepherds, you think they're leading from the front. Again, they're not, often they're not, they're leading from the back. And again, they're keeping an eye out on their sheep from predators and stuff like that. So I think a leader must be versatile. They must be flexible. They must be able to have different perspectives, different views. And I know earlier, and I feel a bit of a hypocrite because we're talking about staying in your own lane, don't listen to other people. But I think a leader must be wise, crave for wisdom, because actually to admit that we don't have all the answers is not a weakness.
No.
It is a blooming good strength, right? And to lean on the wisdom of others who come before us, lean on the wisdom of giants, lean on the wisdom who actually know better. And let's be honest, some of us do know better because they've been there, they've worn the t-shirt, you name it, do you know what I mean? And if we're not listening to wisdom, then we're just fools, we're just folly. So yeah, do your own thing. Yeah, don't listen to anybody else if you don't want to. But be humble and listen to that wisdom. Whether you take it on board, that's up to you. We have our own minds, but listen to wisdom.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Stephen. I think being a great leader, basically, like you and Nadia, what you've just said, there's nothing more I can add myself. And you just have to be somebody that cares about people as well. And your character is very, very important. Like Nadia was saying, the politician, they actually, sometimes they tell lies, but there are sometimes the politician who have a good character, and but it's not, maybe it's one or two basically that tells the truth and they live in that character. But basically, as a great leader, your character, basically, even at home, you have to have one character. For myself, when you see me on screen, if you come to my house, that is my character. And it is hard to actually keep one character and be who you want to be, instead of actually saying, okay, I'm going on screen and now I have to be nice to people because I'm working. Whatever I do is none of their business, but it is their business. Your character, basically, when somebody, if I come to Steve, he's telling me that he is a coach, so I'm gonna want him to coach me because I trust in him and because he has a good character. And basically, I put everything, my trust in him to show me what he knows, so that I can go and be who I want to be. So that is very, very important. And thank you so much, guys. And how do you deal with self-doubt, Nadia? Because, you know, when you have a self-doubt, you can sabotage your life. You can destroy so many things.
Yeah, I think it's very important. So important to talk about it as well. Well, everything is important to talk about, but we all have self-doubt. It's normal. It's just part of our life that sometimes we're just so insecure. So how to deal with it? Go within and know where you want to get in your life. Create a vision, create a plan, have a plan of action, strategy, and know what you want to create in this world. Because when you're focused on that, as you said, no, that's Namsa, did you say that stay in your line, or was it Stephen?
Oh, Stephen.
Yeah, sorry, Stephen. Yes, exactly that. If you stay focused, laser focused on your vision, on what you're supposed to achieve, self-doubt is, that you're gonna have to recalibrate. Of course, self-doubt will kick in once in a while. You will doubt yourself. You will have negative thoughts. You're not gonna. You will kind of disconnect from your true desires and your heart. So all you have to do in that moment is just to remember where you're going, why are you going there, and what you want to create. Because that passion, that vision, that connection with your end result, with your heart, will make the self-doubt really insignificant. And self-doubt as well. So like today, I had some negative thoughts and I told my partner basically about this. So just be honest as well, even though it's scary. It is scary to be honest and to be vulnerable. And it's okay to talk about your self-doubt, even though they might seem silly and ridiculous to you. So what? We all have them. We all have this silly, ridiculous, idiotic self-doubt, basically, that we are ashamed of, or we are afraid to admit to. But the best way is just first thing, focus on what you want to create, on your desires, on your vision, on your end goal, and then speak about it. When you let it out from yourself, when you tell someone and share it, someone that you trust and they're not gonna laugh at you, of course, it really makes a difference. It just completely loses its power, and most likely the self-doubt will never come back again. So that's my advice. Just these two steps: share it and definitely refocus on what you truly want, so it doesn't matter anymore.
Thank you so much, Nadia. Thank you so much. Basically, I can't add anything. Whenever you have self-doubt about yourself, you have to understand that you were created to be an amazing person, and you are an amazing person. And self-doubt will always be with you if you let it. But if you actually break away for anything that is bringing doubt, or sometimes it could be friends or family that you hang out with. Sometimes people can bring doubts, and sometimes you get excited, you tell them about your dreams, and this is what I'm doing, and they're like, what? you can't do that. So it can bring doubts within if you actually don't know how to deal with it. But if you find a great champion, basically someone that you admire, it could be a female, it could be a male, and just basically observe how they execute their lives, and basically ask questions. If whenever you have problems or you are feeling self-doubt, you can actually talk to them and they'll give you the advice. I have people that I look up to, people who have been married for a long time. I'm a married coach, I'm a relationship coach. I have people that I look up to, just one person that has been married for a long time that I speak to, and I admire them. I look at the things that they do and their character. If I really, really love their character, I speak to them. Or in business, I speak to a business coach. Basically, I go quiet with Des. And whenever I'm feeling the anxiety, fear, I'm like, if he sees my text is like, yeah, Nomsa, what's going on? And it's like, he just put everything at ease. Like, you know, he says everything is going to be okay. Just go and do this, go and do this. That is nice. When you have the people like matchmaking, I have a matchmaking institute where if I feel fear, I know that the other end, I can actually email or I can text and ask, listen, I have a problem. What do I do? But if I was to ask somebody who is not in that field, they'll be like, they wouldn't know what to do, or they would just give me a negative attitude. Or if I ask you masterminds, you'll be able to talk to me and give me some support. But as long as you're not going to tell me the things that I want to hear. So if you want to be my land, you have to tell me the truth, and the truth shall set me free, as Stephen said. Don't tell me the things that I want to hear, even though things that you might say might hurt me, but I like the truth. And the truth, when I hang out with people that build me, that tells me the truth, it lifts me up, empowers me to be who I want to be. Thank you so much. And I'm going to come to you, Nadia. What makes you take your power back?
Sorry, do you want to ask Steve? Maybe that's self-doubt, because you know he's a.
Oh, Steve, I have not asked you. How do you deal with self-doubt? I thought I've been with you.
Thank you, Nadia. Thank you. I was having doubts then whether I was going to be asked then, so I was doubting myself. But I thought maybe I'm not an expert in this field. Maybe that's why she said a word of knowledge. Don't ask that guy because you don't know. Do you know what?
You know I have your back, Steve.
I'm going to say something really controversial, right?
Yeah.
Because I like being controversial. But I think you'll both admit language and the words that we speak is important. Whether we speak them out, whether we speak them to our head or our heart, it's important, right? So I'm going to start off with that premise. So automatically, when you mention the words self-doubt, struggling and stuff like that, what is the feelings that go on when we do that, right? Now, as soon as you say that, you can almost feel them. You can feel them like, and your face draining, the blood draining from you. And you go into that space of, I know what self-doubt feels like. I've heard the self-doubt. I feel it. You feel the negativity right there? And again, we use that word negativity, right? And you know what that feels like. So I'm going to challenge you to do something different, to spin it on its head, and to imagine that self-doubt is a friend, right? Now, bear with me. So, for example, imagine you've got a friend. What do? You invite them in, you make them a drink, you make them feel welcome, you have a bit of a laugh, you kind of share your problems. That's what friends are for, right? So imagine that self-doubt is a friend. Why? Because if you imagine it as the enemy, how do we treat the enemy? We treat it with disrespect. We treat it as something that's going to attack us, right? And you feel the energy already, right? You feel yourself getting angry. You feel yourself getting frustrated. You feel yourself ready for the resistance and the battle. And that's what self-doubt often feels like a battle. However, my take on that is invite it in as a friend. And you might be thinking, Steve, that's crazy. And it is crazy. Because if we invite it as a friend, this is what we do. Now, Nadia mentioned the internal dialogue, speaking to ourselves. Fantastic, 100%. Yes, yes, and yes. Because in that moment we say, why? Why are we having these self-doubts? Where has that come from? You don't deserve this. That is not you. Who has told you that you can't do this? You are not worthy. Who has the right? Who? So you come back. I mean, we talk about taking back our power. We take back our power and we say to ourselves, what is the truth again here? Yes, I might be struggling. Yes, I might have self-doubt. Why? Where does that come from? And Nadia mentioned the word action, taking action. Then you can take action because then you realize where that's come from. And you start to have this conversation as two friends that want to support each other, hug each other, and go, do you know what? We're going to get through this. Instead of pushing it away, go, be gone with me, self-doubt. I bind you in the name of Jesus, or whatever. Do you know what I mean? Invite it in and say, look, let's have a dialogue about this. Let's sort this out. And that is what a relationship is about, right? If you've got an issue, talking it through, right? So if you've got an issue with self-doubt in your relationship, sort it out.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Stephen, thank you so much. I can't add anything because you know what? Like Stephen says, if you feel that you have self-doubt, you have to deal with it straight away. And the words that we speak, he's right. The words that we speak, you have to speak life into your life. If you are speaking, I was talking about this last Sunday to my relationship live, saying, if you speak negative about your spouse, what do you expect? You're gonna get negativity. Because but if you speak life, no matter how much you are going through in life, you just continue speaking life, and those words will bring a good energy into your relationship. So Stephen is right. You have to speak life to your life and be surrounded by good people around you. Some people believe that you have to have 20 friends, but you don't. Just one friend, one true friend, because you might have 20, 19 of them might be fake. So you just need you and you need people, good people around you to help you, to guide you to where you need to go. And thank you so much, guys. And Nadia, I'm coming to you now. I have not forgotten Stephen. How can you take your personal power back if you feel that you have gone through so much challenges in life and then you've lost your power? And how can you take it back?
Yeah, I just want to add a little, like what Stephen said about the self-doubt as well. It's so powerful, guys. It's self-doubt is a great way to become self-aware. Exactly that. So when the doubt is kicking in, it's lurking into your mind. Ask, where is it coming from? Don't dwell on it and don't give it power, of course, by creating more and more negative thoughts. But exactly, where is it coming from? Why am I insecure? And and of course, don't give it power. And yeah, when it comes to taking your personal power back, the first thing is self-awareness. It's the most important, I think, step that anyone can take in life. Because when we go to kindergarten, we go to school, we are just being kind of indoctrinated into belief system and acquiring knowledge from the outside. And we never actually learn about ourselves, because when you go to kindergarten school, we just become copies of each other. Basically, we just become like everyone else. So we don't actually never know which is this thought actually mine. Would I actually think that, or am I thinking this because it's a society norm, or it's okay to think? So we don't really get to know ourselves. That's why doing inner work and learning about yourself, it's a must to take in your power back. So you really have to kind of detach from the world around us and go within and just learn about yourself. Discover what is your dark side. Where is this self-doubt coming from? What are my limiting beliefs that are holding me back from being who I am? And learning as well, of course, on the other side, what is my potential? What can I really create in life? What am I here for? What's my life purpose? Because we all have a life purpose. We all incredibly powerful, creative beings. We all have creative power. We all have imagination. We all have just wonderful qualities that we never use because we always rely on degrees and opinions of other people and Google and all these courses that we've done. We don't actually realize that we have tremendous amount of wisdom within ourselves. Imagination, creativity, all of the stuff, intuition. These are our natural abilities, and that's how we take our power back, when we really learn that we are powerful and we don't give power away to self-doubt, to negative beliefs, to other people, but we really go within and build ourselves from the inside by reconnecting with our true natural abilities and qualities, and start believing in ourselves, so we can take responsibility, so we know where we're going, so we have that sense of direction, because only then, when we have that sense of direction, because otherwise we're just going to get lost and we're just going to follow anyone, we're going to follow for anything, and we're not going to get anywhere, and at the end of our lives we just look back and regret that we really didn't take that power back, and we didn't do things that we were dreaming about or wanting to do, because we were just focusing too much on insecurities and self-doubt and doing things that we considered good because of the sake of others, because other people wouldn't like this, and it was scary. So yeah, taking your power back is all about going within and allowing yourself to become powerful, and taking responsibility for believing in something, believing in yourself, and sticking with it without getting distracted by all of this craziness and information that is happening around us, but really being focused, narrow line, laser focus on yourself, on your life. Doesn't matter what other people do and think, doesn't matter about conspiracies and coronavirus. This is just a story, basically, experience. What matters is what you want. It doesn't matter the circumstances. If the deeper and stronger your connection with yourself, the more powerful you will become, and the more possibilities you will uncover, the more likely you will create what you're supposed to create. Because otherwise you're just gonna go into victimhood and regret, basically, at the end, and blame other people, the situation, the politicians, the other generation, other gender, whatever, for things that didn't go right in your life. So yeah, just going within and realizing that you're powerful, for real, learning about yourself. So yeah,
And
that's
unapologetic.
that's it. Yeah, just be amazing and shine your light.
Thank you so much, Nadia. Thank you so much. You know, I was watching this guy yesterday, the moon guy. So he was saying, you don't know how, you know, if you want to be who you want to be and bring your power back, he was like what you were saying, Nadia, that we compete with each other, we photocopy, we become copies of other people. And it's something that I used to do that 10 years ago. When I see somebody wearing something or jeans, I'll be like, I like those jeans and I'm gonna go and buy them. But now I'm like, okay, there are things now that I see when I see someone wearing them, I'm like, yeah, they look good on them. I have to admire them, and it has to stay there, because there are some people, I have my own style. I have to believe that I have my own style. But what he touched me was saying yesterday, you don't have to be an expert to know the things that you do. You just have to be obsessed and crazy. That's all you got to do. And that's what he said. And I was like, this is more like it. Crazy is good. When people say what you do is normal, that means you're not doing anything. I like crazy. I like when I do things and people keep wondering, what is she gonna come out tomorrow with it? I like it. It's like if you look at my post on social media, I don't post all these things like everybody else. Emotions, I post my emotions. When I'm feeling the emotions, I just go and put it there. I met this girl on a matchmaking institute, and she was like, Noms, I feel like I'm living in your own head now. And I was like, what? And she was like, honestly, when I see your post, it's like I relate to you. I'm living with you. And I was like, oh, that's great. And, you know, she was paying someone to do her post. So I said to her, you know what? You just have to, if you are running your social media, you get up in the morning and just post things from your heart. And a year ago, I started seeing her post. Before, it was all professional, all done by somebody else. But when I started seeing her post, I was like, that's her posting now. She's posting, you can relate to what someone is posting if that person is them that are posting. So I started to relate to her. And now I love what she is, the character that she has become. I love it when I see her post. I love it because it's her. You can tell when someone is doing something from the heart and not just doing it because they want to be professional. It doesn't connect with people. I'm gonna come to you, Stephen. How can you take your personal power back?
You know, it's a fantastic question, isn't it? And I think, again, if you'd have asked me a few years ago, I'd have been that kid in the corner, like the nervous wreck going, haven't got a clue because I'm too busy not having a clue about my own power. But when I think about this question, do you know what I think about? Jackie Chan. Now, one of the films that I love Jackie Chan in there's a film called Who Am I?
And excuse me, young man, that's my favorite film.
Right, and in this film, oh my God, it just makes me laugh all the way through. And I don't know if it's the way he says it or just, but in this film, it's actually called Who Am I? And he has to spend the whole film going round, and it just makes me laugh because he just goes around going, who am I? Who am I? And I'm not going to do his accent because I might offend somebody, but there's that concept of who am I? Who am I? And as Nadia said, it's about kind of realizing who are we? Because again, we've spent our lives being told who we are, who we're not, who we should be, who we shouldn't be, right? And then as we get older, we become like, we become partners of somebody. We become wives, we become mothers, we become other extra identities on top of the identity, on top of the identity. And then suddenly there's so many identities, it's like, who the hell am I? Who the hell am I? And so what happens is we have this like nervous breakdown at some point going, I have no idea who I am because I'm a mother, I'm a wife, I'm a partner, but that's not real me. That's not the real me. I'm a part of me, but that's not the real me. Who am I? And so we kind of go to that place of, well, who am I? And this is where I start using coach speak. And I hate coach speak, but we start using things like affirmations. And I hate affirmations in some way because it makes me cringe. It just makes me feel that's not me, I don't like it. But it's like speaking to yourself in the mirror and saying, I am smart, I am kind, I am caring, I have a lot to give, I have a lot to love. And you kind of go through those I ams. And then suddenly you realize, yeah, that is me. And it makes you cry. If you haven't done it in a long time, go and try it, because it does necessarily make you cry. And it makes you realize exactly who you are. And I think there's something about when we come into our power, it's about knowing who we are. Whether you're a politician, whether you're a coach, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter the title. But when we know in our core who we are, that is beautiful. That is when we truly take on our power.
Thank you so much, Stephen. I like Jackie Chan, Who Am I? I think that film was part of it when he says, who am I, is in South Africa. I just love it. It's a great film. So thank you so much. You know, I can't add anymore because I think you have covered everything. Sometimes, you know, people like to, I don't like to be something that I'm not, to be honest with you. Even in the house, I like to dance. I like, 1 minute you see me, if I'm sad, I cry. 5 minutes, I give myself a cry. And now when I say I cry for real. And when I cry after I finish, I'm just finished. I know that I am who I say I am. And when I pray as well, I say, Jesus, I'm not who I say I am. I want my identity. Those are the prayers that I pray every day. I want my identity, reveal my identity. Who am I? So I have to, every day I have to find out who am I. I have to actually meditate and finding out my true identity. And when you do that over and over and over, you live your own life and not somebody else. And when you love, you will love from within, not living pretending to be something that you are not. You know, when I go to a business event, I just go and chat to people and get to know everyone, which is something that I've never felt comfortable in doing it. Even if I knew that I'm a lovely person, it takes guts for somebody to go around and chatting to everyone. And those were like days telling me that, Nomsa, if you want to be a CEO of the company, you're going to behave like a CEO. You're going to have to show people that you are the owner of the company. You're going to have to speak. You're going to have to learn to, when you have problems, you're going to have to seek help. Those are the things that you need to learn. And I was like, I'm listening to him. He's talking. I'm thinking, are you kidding me? All this list. But you know what? When somebody giving you advice and they help you to put everything in practice and they direct you, go to this person, go to this person, go to their business event and talk to them. It does help sometimes when you have people guiding you through, because when I basically started with him and I was like, are you kidding me? You mean I have to do all these things? And I was like, but I'm paying you. And he was like, yes, I know you are paying me, but unfortunately, I don't have to do the work for you. I have to teach you, and you're gonna have to do the work. And I was like, and you could see when I left that I was so scared. And when I got home, I was like, okay, where do I need to start? You know, I just practice and practice and practice, and I'm getting there. I'm getting there. So that's why I'm willing to carry you guys. I'm willing to carry you as long as you're willing to carry me as well. So that is good. So I'm gonna come to you, Nadia, because the time. What words of encouragement would you offer to someone setting out on their path of struggling? If they are struggling right now, what words of encouragement would like to leave with our audience?
That's a beautiful question. And yet there's a lot of people that suffer and go through a lot of, horrible, painful experiences. All I can say is that grieving is very, very important, and accepting the situation. It's the first step, acceptance. So wherever you are now, just be honest with yourself, the truth, accept the truth, what happened, because that will start the process of healing and letting go. And that's when you start healing and letting go, that's when it's so much easier to create a new life and to focus on the future and creating a better future. But a lot of people are afraid to accept, and they lie to themselves, and they don't want to see the reality, because they, as Stephen said, they prefer to wear this mask and pretend, even in front of themselves, not only in front of other people, that whatever happens, the life that they have is great, is wonderful, and they get stuck and suffer in the same cycles and habits and behaviors. But yeah, I think the first thing that you have to do if you're going through some tough moments, is just accept where you are, what happened, what is happening, and because that will give you energy, that will give you, open the door for you to really move on and let it go, because we all go through different emotions and stages of healing and suffering, but you cannot heal if you don't accept first. So acceptance, that's my just the only advice. I can talk for hours, but yeah, accept. Definitely what happened so you can move on.
Thank you so much, Nadia. Thank you so much. You just have to, you have to accept who you are as a person, and if you need healing, you know, healing is a process. Some people, they actually, they will look at all these coaches and say, if they can do it, I can do it. And then when you start the process, you struggle. Then they're like, why am I struggling? You know, struggling is the part of it, because you can look back and say, okay, these are the steps that I took when I was healing. Sometimes you have bad days, sometimes you have good days. But once that routine, you get used to the routine, you won't accept any bad days anymore. You are like, you bad day, you're coming my way, no thank you. So it's part of healing, it's a process. Whatever you do in life, if you have been hurt or these challenging times, some people have lost their families, their loved ones. The healing is a process. There is no words that I can say that can heal you for what you have been through. Only you can accept the words and choose which words that you accept to go into your heart and heal yourself. So thank you so much, Nadia. I'm going to come over to you, Stephen. Words of encouragement, please, to our audience if they're struggling.
I mean, the first thing I'm going to say, it's not really a word of encouragement, but something that Nadia reminded me of, and it's so important. And you think, hold on, that's not encouragement, but it actually is. And that's that sense of grieving. Grieving. You might think, well, how is that encouragement? And it's encouragement because we often don't have time and we don't give our permission to grieve. Now, why is that important? It's because if we're at a stage of our life where we're here and we want to be over there, then that's going to take a lot of rewiring. It's going to take a whole load of letting go. It's going to come to a place of acceptance of this has happened, this has happened, this has happened. And that is an emotional ball of stuff right there. So I think you have to give yourself permission to grieve, number one. The second time is also to be a friend to yourself and be kind to yourself. Because while you're grieving, while you're going through this phase, you're going to be so angry, you're going to be so full of emotions. The person you're going to need most actually is yourself, because you need to be a friend to yourself. And my last one is something I struggle with, so I'm going to put my hands up, is patience. Patience, because
so many people struggle with that.
Often, you know what I mean? We see the road ahead and we see, yeah, this is our goal, this is where we want to be. And we kind of feel so frustrated because we see ourselves over there. It's like we're almost waving at that better version of ourselves. Hello, hello, and they're waving at you. Hello. But then there's this gap in between you and this better version of yourself. And I think to realize that actually we're on that path, we're getting there, but sometimes we just need to be patient, and that can be hard. But again, if we keep focused and we can still see them, hello, they're still waving back, hello, then we can do it. So be kind to yourself, be a friend to yourself, be patient, and grieve. It's okay to grieve and give yourself permission.
Thank you so much, Stephen. Basically, you have to be kind to yourself, and you just look at yourself in the mirror every day and just tell yourself how much you love yourself. Because for somebody to be able to tell you that they love you and you accept their love, you have to accept yours first. So thank you so much, Stephen. And everything, it takes time. Whatever you do in life, it takes time. Sometimes you might have bad days with whatever you do in life, or sometimes you might have good days. So it is part of the process, it's part of life. For me, basically, I'm gonna leave you guys with this. If you want to get in touch with Nadia or Stephen or any of our coaches, you can get in touch through Nkositalkshows. There is a phone number. You can get in touch if you basically want any of these speakers, you want them to appear your events, you can get in touch with me and get in touch with them, or you can come to our page and get in touch with them. And tomorrow we have something different tomorrow, because this is Ngosi Talk Show. Like what I said, everything goes. So we are serving our audience. We are not here to serve ourselves. So tomorrow is United Kingdom is coming out of lockdown. So we are going to do things differently. We have preachers that are going to be preaching. Here we've got Nadia. You're here, Nadia. Stephen, are you coming?
What time? I want to be there. I want to come.
1 o'clock, we have preachers. We're gonna have more than people that we normally have. It doesn't matter how long it's gonna take. Those who have to go, they'll speak fast. Basically, we have people that are gonna be preaching, giving hope to people. They're gonna be giving words of encouragement to people, because we are here to serve our audience. We are not here for ourselves. Like we said before, we are not here to entertain. We are here to basically to lead and give words of encouragement, and so that you guys can empower yourselves. Those who are watching the audience, we cannot empower you. For you to empower yourself, you have to receive the message and be able to unleash whatever the power that is within. So tomorrow things are going to be different. We're going to be here 1 o'clock. There's going to be preachers. There's going to be people giving words of encouragement, giving hope. Nadia will be giving, I don't know what she will be saying. I'm not going to say on her behalf. She knows what she'll be talking about. So it's going to be amazing. Those who are Christians, we're not leaving you behind. So we're going to include you tomorrow. I'm a Christian as well. So we're going to be here, and we're just going to give hope tomorrow. Hopefully you guys are going to join us. It's going to be fun. And Stephen, if you are free, you can join us. Are you a Christian?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, I saw the way you speak. I bind you and I cast you out. When you were speaking, yes, I'm a Christian as well. So I do that as well. Sometimes I say fear, I bind you and I cast you out. And I'm like, fear is not going. So I have to face it and get rid of it. So thank you so much to everyone who is watching, and we appreciate you and we love you guys. God bless you. Live with grace. Okay.